Hello, everybody, and welcome to the WildWeiler Weekly Wrap. As always, I am WildWeiler. Oh boy, it's been a bit. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. I have been busy, mostly because I am still in art school, and I am still working full-time, and when you combine everything together with that, I'm basically working 60 to 80 hours a week. Which is crazy. That's crazy. What am I, an Amazon warehouse employee? Anyways, what's made everything harder in that regard is in my drawing fundamentals class, I was noticing I was getting a shaky hand. And I thought that might be related to the massive spinal trauma I suffered. You know what? Screw it. MRI photo on screen. Look away if you don't want to see something horrifying in 3, 2, 1. Boop! You are now safe to look away or back. You are now safe to look back. Anyways, yeah, it's not related to that. So I have stopped drinking coffee. And that might be the hardest thing I've done in my life, and you've just seen the MRI from my massive spinal trauma. So yeah, isn't that great? Anyways, it's transportation week. So I played a number of games this week, and the first one was a game called Keep Driving, and it is exactly what it says it is, but it's like a side-scrolly resource management game where you pick up hitchhikers and you get food, and it's all about a sort of early 2000s road trip across, I want to say America, because it feels very American in many ways, but it's not. It's also clearly Europe, because it's like a mishmash of America and Europe by European developers, and it combines the best parts of both. Large empty spaces that are America, and the fact that, you know, Europe isn't a hellscape. Sorry. I've been to both places, so I can say these things. Anyways, it's a really fun management-y game. It could use more like visual novel elements. It really could. It would benefit from a little bit deeper sort of conversations to be had with your hitchhikers, or more decision points that aren't just the on-the-road mini game. For that reason, it does get a tiny bit repetitive, but that's okay. I would give Keep Driving like a 7. Like a 7 out of 10. It's a good game. It's nice. You should honestly play it if it's kind of in your valley. It's really chill. It's saving like all the time, so you can just jump in, jump out, and it loads really fast. So yeah, I imagine it's one of those games that if you're a big idle game kind of person, it's a little bit too engaging, but it's almost there. And if I'm honest, what I want more than anything is a game like Keep Driving, or like Jalopy. Does anybody remember Jalopy? I love that, but multiplayer. And now that I've said these words, do I have to make that? No, Wild, you're not allowed to make new games. Jeez, you never go anywhere with that. Okay, on to the next transportation game. Road 96 is a game that I thought would be about driving. It's not. It's more of a surrealist walking simulator / story. I'm like 2 hours into it, and it is crazy interesting. It's on Games Pass. It just dumps you right into its story, like, contextlessly, which I almost prefer these days, even if it is a bit like when your mom came in and you're watching one of your animations, and she's like, what's this guy? Why does he have a penguin for a head? And you're like, Mom, you have to watch like 2,000 episodes of the show. Now, mind you, in my case, the show was Arthur on PBS, but still. Now, that being said, Road 96 is very surreal in a way that I thought was going to be more surreal. I mean, it still is pretty surreal, but it's not as surreal as it could have been. I don't know what to think of this game yet. It's got a lot of stuff. It's got a lot of stuff to say, which I think is good for video games. I think more video games should have something to say. I'm looking at, like, sort of the bigger blockbusters lately. Oh man, these are all old blockbusters now that I'm about to list them off. And I'm about to list off Rockstar games. Rockstar needs something to say. That's what I've realized here ad-libbing this part. Is both GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 don't have jack crap to, like, say big picture. Why does that keep happening? You guys keep seeing me like, wah! Anyways, that's not important. Road 96. Yeah, it's interesting. It's fun. I wish it was more game. I have the opposite complaint. I wish it was more game and less visual novel. And I wish Keep Driving was less game. Well, actually, same amount of game, but just more visual novel. Anyways, on to our third transportation-related item. Netflix has told me to watch a show, and that show is High Seas, which is a Spanish-language show that takes place on a boat. Not just any boat, though, a luxury liner in the year of our Lord 1947, in which a whole bunch of murders happen. So this is basically catnip for me. A dubbed show about transportation in the past and or future? It's like, great. If you're like, oh, Wild, last time you watched a show exactly like this, it was 1899, and that show was a hot, steaming pile of poop. Well, number one, you're right. 1899 is a hot, steaming pile of poop. But crucially, High Seas is not. High Seas has more of a, how do I say this, plot. It's stringy and contrived as that plot may be at times. It has one, which is something 1899 can't say it has. Because what 1899 has is like one plot twist that's worth anything, and it happens in the last 3 seconds of a season, and then Netflix canceled the show because it was garbage. And this is to say nothing about the allegations of plagiarism, which, controversial opinion zone, I personally don't find all that compelling. The complaints about plagiarism are, there's a show about a ship that features dark pyramid imagery, and a murder happens on the ship. And I just feel like ship murder mystery is a genre, and so once you remove that, it's like, hey, my thing also has dark pyramids in it. And it's like, once again, pyramid is one of the Platonic shapes, so it's not hard for people to come up with the idea of a pyramid. Anyways, so yeah, High Seas. So far, it's so good. You know, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. Nothing good, nothing bad. It's worth your time. It's your next binge show for when you're painting miniatures. But then you'd have to watch it dubbed, which I do because I'm a dubber, baby. And beware that the dubbing is weird. It's not the best, but that's fine. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here because the motion tracker keeps confusing my beard for my hands. And that's when you know it is time to go. So I will see you next time. And wherever you are, have a lovely day. Bye-bye.